Dog stares at mom's pregnant belly and ends up saving their lives. There's no title more deserving than that of man's best friend. Our canine companions are always there for us when we need them. They love us unconditionally and have an intuitive sense and empathetic nature that places them emotionally above just about all other animals. In short, dogs always have our backs, and one woman from the UK nearly learned the hard way why we should always trust when they're trying to tell us something. If you go to any neighborhood dog park, you'll find plenty of folks who think their dog is the best of the bunch. It's hard to find a dog owner who doesn't think their furry friend is extra special, and we all know at least one pet parent who loves to brag about or share photos of their four-legged baby. Because of this, it can sometimes be tough for our close canine companions to accept someone new suddenly getting all of our attention. Luckily for young bachelor Ricky Burtis of Doncaster, a large market town in South Yorkshire, England, there was room for more than one lady in his life. Back in 2014, 24-year-old Ricky Burtis was overjoyed to marry his childhood sweetheart, Alana Butler, then 20, and start a life together. However, he knew he wasn't just marrying Alana, he was committing to a lifetime with their beloved akita, Keola, too. The couple did their research and knew they wanted a Japanese akita because of their intelligence and loyalty, even long before they were married. They learned these impressive animals were very protective and make excellent watchdogs. When the couple went to a local dog breeder in June of 2014, they believe Keola chose them and took her home that night. A few months went by and soon the Burtis Butler crew were set to become a family of 4. Still, they decided Keola would make a wonderful big sister, but they knew their sweet puppy liked being the only baby in the household. Akitas can be as possessive as they are protective, after all. Still, it was too late. They decided to take their chance and shared their dream with their loved ones. When someone tells you about a big life decision like this, it's usually best to keep opinions to yourself if you have nothing supportive to say. Unfortunately, some of Ricky and Alana's friends were not so discreet. They thought a puppy and a baby was too much for the young couple and suggested they get rid of Keola before getting pregnant. Sure, some dogs can get a little jealous of a new baby when they come and steal the spotlight, but they thought this idea was crazy and cruel. The couple was offended by the suggestion, but admitted that the idea had crossed their minds. Were the newlyweds going to be able to handle an energetic dog and a baby running around the house? Alana and Ricky felt their little Keola was smarter than most dogs and hoped she'd be as loyal to their family children as she was to them. Despite all the warnings from their overtly concerned family and friends, the couple decided they should try for a baby. Unfortunately, they quickly learned that actually getting pregnant wasn't that simple. Month after month, they struggled to conceive. We did test after test, but with no luck. They just kept coming up negative, Alana later told the Mirror UK. It was a hard time for the young couple, a time many families can relate to. Then, one day, everything changed when Alana was disappointed by yet another negative pregnancy test. She tossed the negative test in the trash and decided to ease her pain with a little retail therapy. When she returned home, she couldn't believe what her intelligent akita had been up to while she was gone. When we returned, Keola had gone through the bin and had got the pregnancy test out of the bin, Alana later told the Mirror. She'd never touched the bins before, so it was very odd. She was sat with it in front of her like she was trying to tell us something. It must have been painful when Alana had to grab the pregnancy test out of her dog's mouth and see it a second time. But she was stunned when she looked closer. Had Alana taken so many tests she foolishly tossed this one? At second glance, the test was positive. I grabbed it and I saw a faint second line. I couldn't believe it. I showed Ricky straight away and said Keola was saying I was pregnant, but he said the line was too faint and it was just a coincidence, so we binned it again. She continued, the next day I went to buy a more expensive test. Keola was right all along. Alana was, in fact, 2 weeks pregnant. I told Ricky by writing a note as if it was written by Keola and attaching it to her collar for him to read. The couple was over the moon about their good news and realized Keola was truly a special dog who could detect things they couldn't, and it wouldn't be the last time she showed them. When the 21-year-old was about 18 weeks into her pregnancy, she learned she was having a baby boy and also started to feel unusually ill. Doctors told the petite mom-to-be that her vomiting was normal and her severe back pain was due to her small frame. All the while, Keola would stay by her bedside and watch over her. It was awful. People thought I was just being a wimp and kept telling me, oh, you can't handle this. How are you going to cope with having a baby? But I could barely walk. Despite being sent home from the hospital, Alana knew something was very, very wrong. and so did Keola. She would nudge me and cry, and I could never figure out why she had suddenly started doing this, Alana told the Mirror. Then the 21-year-old, who works as a healthcare assistant, shared a photo on Facebook of Keola staring at her pregnant belly for hours at a time. When her mom Amanda saw the photo, she called and said, "Listen to your dog. She's trying to tell you something." That was it. She knew it was time to go take herself to the hospital again. The pregnant mom barely made it through the hospital's entrance door before she collapsed on the lobby floor and nearly died. She was put in the intensive care unit for a deadly antibiotic-resistant bug and a double kidney infection. Doctors said that she would have certainly died if she hadn't listened to her dog and come in when she did. "No one really understood how ill I was, but Keola did," she told the Mirror. "She knew I was seriously ill when no one else did, and she made sure she told me," she said. "It turns out she was absolutely right, and she saved our lives. She's the most amazing dog, and I owe her my life." The mom-to-be doesn't remember much of the next month she was hospitalized, but thankfully both her and her son survived the terrifying ordeal. A few months later, baby Lincoln was born happy and healthy. People have since asked me, would we keep Keola now that we have a 13-week-old baby, but I just tell them she's our first child, Alana said after Keola's miracle story went viral. "I completely trust her around Lincoln. She loved him before any of us did. It was her who knew about him first. She loved him before he even knew she existed, and she'd rest her head on my tummy."